Ravens Wrap is sponsored by Bud Light, Holiday Inn Express, the Ocean City Golf Club, Comfort Inn, Russell Street Report, the original Green Turtle, and hosted by the Blue Ox Bar and Grill.
In April 1959, Art Wall won the Masters, edging out Carey Middlecoff and Arnold Palmer by finishing birdie, 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 par birdie. 1 month later, Ocean City Golf Club celebrated the opening of their first 18 holes. That course has been transformed now into one of the most scenic golf layouts on the East Coast. Come experience 36 of the most beautiful and challenging holes you'll find anywhere. Ocean City Golf Club in Ocean City, Maryland.
Original Green Turtles Ravens Wrap Show right here from the Ravens Room at the Blue Ox Bar and Grill, 127th Street and Coastal Highway in Ocean City. Hey, don't forget, we're more than making it worth your while to come on down to the show every Wednesday. We do the taping at 7 o'clock. Not only do we give away an authentic Nike jersey, but also we give you a chance to win Ravens tickets. In fact, later on in the program, we're going to be drawing a winner as this coming Sunday. The Ravens hosting the Oakland Raiders M&T Bank Stadium kickoff at 1 o'clock. And well, what do you know? I've got a pair of tickets right here for you. Come on down. Every show will give you some tickets. You throw it into the box or into the canister, I should say, and then we'll pull the winner. So come on down. We'd love to have you. Don't have to be a Ravensers 44 member. Any Ravens fans, Worcester County, Sussex County, Wycomico County, Somerset, all over Delmarva. We'd love to see you right here at the Blue Ox. Guys, as we continue to talk about the 25-15 win for the Ravens, as we talked about at tail, the first and fourth quarters, the second and third, one of the important things about playing on the road is either getting off to a good start or being able to take their punches and withstand that and then strike yourself. In this case for us, we struck first right away. I mean, not one, but 2 touchdowns. When we talk about Ray Rice and getting him involved in the running game more and the fact that we had gotten away from that, well, Ray Rice had 27 touches on Sunday. 25 of them came on the ground. I think, Bobby, that's one thing we talked about. It's not that Ray Rice hadn't been getting the ball enough, because yards from scrimmage, he was second behind Jamal Charles just a few weeks ago from Kansas City. It's the fact that they hadn't been feeding him on the ground enough. Well, he got it, and they certainly made the most of it early on. 8-yard touchdown. Then his backup, Bernard Pierce, coming in the red zone and getting a 12-yard touchdown run. Before you know it, it's 14-0 Ravens.
Well, it is, and the one thing that's been glaring as well this season is the time of possession. We've been so bad with time of possession this year, and if you're not getting first downs, it's hard to get Ray Rice's carries. So sometimes I think it's a little overrated when you talk about Ray Rice not getting his touches, because if you're not, if you're not converting on third down, which we're one of the worst teams in the league right now in converting on third down, and we did an awful job on Sunday against the Browns doing that as well.
They're 5 of 14.
And so you're looking at a situation where if you're not moving the change, you're not going to get Ray Rice the touches you want. Your offense is not going to be obviously effective in those situations. The other thing is we haven't had a lot of big plays lately. If you look at some of the the big yardage plays, the big downfield passes to Torrey Smith, we had a chance to hit one on Sunday, and it was right in Torrey's hands, and he didn't catch it. But we got to take some more shots. I didn't like the one shot that he did take with that. It was on first down. Now it's 2nd and 10. And we had a lot of 3rd and 9s, 3rd and 8s last week. They've got to do a better job on third down. But you're right, they started well. And that's one of the things you have to do on the road. They did that. They got off to a 14-0 lead. You think at that point the game's over. One more touchdown, the Browns probably pack it in. But that's not the case. We just find a way to keep them in the game, and then help. We came out with a victory, but it wasn't pretty.
Yeah, and then the onslaught, if you want to call onslaught. I mean, they get the Browns hit his 3 field goals, Papo, in the second quarter. But at least from a red zone perspective, the defense might have given up yardage down the field. But red zone stops. The Ravens defense not obviously what they were in the last couple of years, but red zone, they're still right there at the top of the league. And that's most important. Points allowed is what Dean P says he cares about.
That was the 2 bright spots, was the red zone defense played really good, and special teams played really good. Because we had a stretch where he punted it 6, 7 times. We had to punt the ball. And our special teams, they're their return guy. He's pretty good.
Josh Cribbs, very good.
Very good return guy. We held him. I mean,
10.8.
So the special teams did a good job. Red zone defense did a really good job. And we kind of had a lull in the second, third quarters offensively. But once again.
Kind of?
Yeah, but we scored 25 points. It's the same thing. We scored 25 points. Now the interception that Ed Reed made at the end was kind of a, kind of a give me, last desperation type deal. But I thought the defense played pretty good. I was happy with it.
But those are the thing. I mean, he had two that could have been pick sixes that he dropped, and the one because he was looking up the field to the left going, okay, I'm going to go here, I'm going to cut. No, you got to catch the ball first. Right. But, had he made those two interceptions, you could say it about a number of plays, it would have been a much different game. But, I thought defensively we played well. And definitely, like you're saying, special teams, I thought we were great.
Yeah, special teams.
Well, Bruce Laird was talking about it too, Mike. You said if you're in Baltimore, you're talking about how great the red zone defense was. But, if you're in Cleveland, you're saying, how can we not score being in the red zone that many times? If you were a Browns fan and it was our offense that got down the field and had to kick field goals, an NFL team has to convert at least one of those. We got a little lucky, too, because the one was called back. With the illegal formation. So, but it does take a little luck to win in this game as well. Again, on the road, divisional opponent, 6-2. That's what you have to look at. You got a lot of young guys playing on offense as well as defense. These guys are only going to get better, we hope, because the defensive line, as Steve alluded to, we've got to find a way to get a pass rush. Let's look at the bright side.
You mentioned in the last segment, Bobby, defensive coordinator Dean Pease up in the box. And John Harbaugh talked about that at his press conference on Monday and said it was something that actually Dean Pease had approached him about a few weeks before. So it's not a reactionary thing. I think he feels as if being able to make adjustments maybe a little bit faster on the fly before getting to halftime is something that when you're up in the box and you can see more things, that's very helpful to you. And, I've been as a coach on the sideline, Steve, and the same thing. I've been on the sideline up in the box. Certainly the box gives you more of a perspective to make those adjustments, and we'll see how that goes down the line. I don't know if that's going to automatically equate to a pass rush per se, but at least in terms of making in-game adjustments, which we often talk about, that's something that he feels could be beneficial, and hey, what the heck, if it works, it works.
I think definitely for him, from the type of defense he's working with, it's more of an analytical perspective where you can look at the whole thing and you can see what needs to go where. Well, that's great if you have somebody on the field that's a personnel guy that can talk to the guys, and it sort of gets you out of the momentum of the game where you don't get rushed by emotional decisions. So in this case, I saw him speak today, and he was actually thinking that it was going to be a pretty good thing for him, and you definitely got to like the results from Sunday.
Well, he's done it before, and that's a good thing. When he was at New England as a defensive coordinator, he was up in the box, so it's not like it's the first time and he's doing something different. Obviously, he knows his name, like every player on the Ravens defense, is on that defense. So if he thinks it's going to help, then let him do it, because I think if he's comfortable with that and he thinks that's what he needs to do, and he feels like it's going to make the defense better, let's see how it works out.
Well, you can sure see the field a lot better from up high.
Oh.
I coached at Salisbury for 4 years, and for the first 2 years I was a scout. And what I did was I wasn't allowed to watch the game on field level. I had to go up into the stands to watch the game to take a scouting report. So it's a whole different perspective when you're watching it. Even my daughter's lacrosse games, I can't see anything from down low. I've got to move up top so I can watch what's going on. So maybe that's what he felt. He wanted to see, what was going on, because you get to see the entire field, not just one part of the field when you're up high.
And when you're up top, it's a little less emotional because you're not down on the field with the players, and you get caught up into the game because you're right there on the sidelines in the box. You're removed from that, and you've got glass around you, so the crowd noise and all that doesn't play a factor. So it may even give you a chance to think a little clearer than you would on the sidelines, where you got players, you got emotion, you're getting into it maybe a little bit more. So again, we'll see how that turns out. Speaking defensively, we can talk Kerry Williams this year as a guy that's been thrown at a lot, but part of that because Lardarius Webb, when he was playing, did such a great job. He hasn't given up anything deep, but a lot of stuff, in front of him. Some of that's the fact that he doesn't like to bump and run. Some of that's just scheme that they're asking him to play back and give a cushion. But say what you want, interception in the game, he's got 4. That leads the AFC among corners with interceptions. So he came up with another big one when we needed it.
Yeah, he's got 4 INTs in the last 5 games, and that was really big. And that return was actually a very good return, except for the fact they went backwards for like the first.
It didn't look like it initially. Yeah, I was like, where are you going?
They showed the segment on the side, and all the guys would go, "Man, you're going the wrong way. You're going the wrong way." But when he finally did get going the right way, it actually helped us out greatly. and we paid a dividend on that one.
Bobby, you talked about in the last segment as well, Courtney Upshaw, who not only did he play on the outside, but in nickel situations, they played him in an inside linebacker spot as well. Again, especially in the second half where I thought the run defense got better, Courtney Upshaw was making plays, and John Harbaugh's very excited about his development there, and we can only hope that he's a kind of versatile linebacker that can continue to make impact plays. We haven't had that enough. We see Ellerbe starting to do it, but we need impact plays from our linebackers.
Yeah, I think the one guy you have to be really disappointed if you're a Ravens fan this year, which we all expected a lot more, is Paul Kruger. And I think you really see that because when Suggs was hurt, they didn't have to double Suggs, and then Kruger was not making an impact. Now that Suggs is back, last week's game not really indicative because he was up against Joe Thomas, and they kind of left Joe Thomas one-on-one with Suggs. They ended up moving Suggs to the other side to try to give him a little bit free. But I think that Kruger has to make a difference, and I think you're going to see Kruger, Upshaw, and maybe Suggs on the field a little bit more together because, they're the three guys that we're going to count on, from the outside putting pressure on the quarterback. Hopefully, Haloti Ngata can get a little more healthy and put pressure up the middle.
Yeah, I think, Papa, we've seen Kruger in spurts make some plays. I mean, I thought a couple of times he had some nice plays against the run against Cleveland, but yeah, I think we certainly need more out of him. But, other guys, they're getting other guys involved. D'Angelo Tyson, who was a defensive tackle draft pick, Brian Hall, some guys that they mixed in there. So I think Dean Pease is kind of going to the bench and seeing what kind of combinations he can get to make the defense as good as it can be out there.
I don't think the defense is going to be solid till Haloti Ngata gets healthy. And he's got a sprained knee ligament, and he's got a messed up shoulder. I mean, it's hard to play day in, day out. And then you can't rest him every day till game time, because then when game time comes up, he's not ready to play. Right. So he's kind of torn in between. I'm sure that every time he goes out there and keeps playing, he's hurting it a little bit more, and he's not improving as fast as he wants to. That's one big problem. I think they got to give one of these younger guys a shot.
Well, I think that's what you're seeing. You're seeing a lot of rotation. And hey, if you're on the Ravens defensive line, this is an opportunity for you. Absolutely. You're going to get a chance to play. Absolutely. You're going to get a chance to step up and show what you can do. And not only on our team, but there's other teams out there watching the film as well. So these young guys, and we talked about this going into this season, Mike, these young guys on the defensive front have to step up. The other two is Ellerbe and McClain. Ellerbe's playing great football, but there's times where you don't even know McClain's on the field.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not a factor.
He's been a disappointment this year.
He's been a disappointment. Yeah. He's not making tackles. Ray was the one making all the tackles, albeit a couple yards down the field at times because our defensive line was getting pushed back. But McClain hasn't been a factor at all so far on the defense this year. Yeah,
I mean, I think the most you can ask for is, hey, they're not going to be a top 10. They may not be a top 15 if they can get close. Again, Dean Pease says one of the big stats he's concerned about, not yards given up. It comes down to points. So if they can continue, we got 30 seconds, if we can continue to be stout in the red zone and limit teams there points-wise, we'll certainly be better off. But that's an area we'll be looking at. And, as John Harbaugh said, Papo, to your point about Haloti Ngata, hey, we'd love to rest him, but hey, every game counts. So you got the playoffs, so you can't keep them out. Hey, more of the Ravens Wrap Show coming up right here on Comcast Beach TV and Delmarva's Rock Radio, home of the Ravens, 93.5 The Beach. We're back with more.
Ravens Wrap is sponsored by Bud Light, Holiday Inn Express, the Ocean City Golf Club, Comfort Inn, Russell Street Report, the original Green Turtle, and hosted by the Blue Ox Bar and Grill.
Welcome to the Comfort Inn Gold Coast. Conveniently located just 1 block from the beach and adjacent to shopping at the Gold Coast Mall and the movie theater. Newly renovated and open year-round with a marvelous bayfront view. Visit us on the web at comfortgoldcoast.com and see our hot deals and great golf packages, or simply call our direct reservation line to plan your stay.